chosen ones, empaths, there's a misconception out there. And hopefully this might be triggering for some of you, but I want to bring you the truth, right? And try to stick around to digest as much as you can. Look, what I'm saying is, right, you'd think that walking away from a narcissist, cutting a narcissist off, okay? I'm talking about when you're still in a relationship with them. You'd think that will increase attraction, right? But they go out with a vengeance, okay? If you're sincere, let me break it down. If you're sincere and you've cut the narcissist off and you've never returned and nothing like that, right? It depends upon how the relationship ended. Did you give them a lot of fuel? Was there a lot of tears? Was there a lot of arguments? Was there a lot of this, right? This propels the narcissist off with a lot of energy, right? Even though it's negative energy, they like that, okay? And they'll go out with the vengeance and think, right, yeah, I'm going to go and... This will keep them kind of intoxicated for a long time where they think they can try and find something better, okay? What I would say is the best way to... Well, not the best way, but when a narcissist, what increases attraction? If you know you've done your best, okay? You know you've done your best that you could possibly do by a person. Something that you've done stuff for them that you ain't going to do for no one again, right? Let's face it, that's that you're in that mindset. You're not going to endlessly give all of that. And then you walk away. Maybe as silent as possible, you walk away. Silence is better. If you just get out, you just go. And you know you've given your all. That's going to crush them, okay? Alternatively, that's going to crush them, right? But what I'm saying is when you give them a lot of fuel and drama and chaos at the end of the relationship, it prolongs them realizing your value. And they go out with a vengeance and try and, get one back at you and all of that. Yeah, it's going to come crashing down, but it does prolong it. What I would say for those of you that were discarded and all of that, this is why I say, and this is what I was talking about, will be triggering to some people. The discard, being discarded by a narcissist is easier than an empath or a chosen one. Hear me when I say that. It's easier to be discarded as an empath or a chosen one by a narcissist than it is for you to do the cutting off. And hear me out, okay? The reason why it's easier for you to be discarded is because that creates a lot of space when you're discarded. They're in power trip mode. Yes, I broke their heart. Yes, I messed them up. Yes, they're going to be suicidal. Yes, they're going to be like that. And I'm not making a joke of suicidal ideations because that can actually occur. But you'll go through the dark night of the soul. You'll go through the darkness. And while you're emerging, they're actually, decreasing. And the supply's decreasing. That it was leftover remnants of yours. And then they're in a world where they thought the grass was greener, and it's not. And it takes them, it's a shock. It shocks their system. Okay? So what I would try to say in this video, okay, is because I think a lot of people, right, are, how can I put this? A lot of people are, this is what I mean. A true empath and chosen one finds it hard to discard. And this is why it's difficult. Because if they've actually, not discard, they've cut the narcissist off. I don't like to call it discard. That's what narcissist is, right? But you've cut the narcissist off. I'm telling you, what happens is they reflect on the narcissist. They feel like they could have done more. They go through a lot of grief, okay? They go through a lot of grief and dumpers remorse for the empath and chosen one that actually cuts the narcissist off. And that's why I'm saying for all of you that have been discarded, ghosted, abandoned, the power's in your hands, all right? The power's in your hands. They give you enough space. They give you enough silence. And I know that might be not something you want at the moment if you're in a position of hurt. I'm telling you, it's a gift. It's the biggest gift ever. They give you the space, they give you the time, and you learn to accept that the relationship's over sincerely. You accept it's over, okay? I know some of you might not be there yet, but you generally accept it's over, right? And when you walk away in that sense after you've been discarded, that's like, this is going to sound stupid, right? It's like just missing a train, okay, for the narcissist. You've gone, you know? You didn't want to get on that train, you know, to the narcissist. They didn't want to get on that train. They wanted to get on the next train along, or the one ahead. They wanted to get on a different train. They didn't get on that train, right? And they missed it. They missed that train. And that is what it's like for them, you know. You're going on a course in life now that they could have been a part of. I don't know if this is a bit deep for you lot to understand, because that's what I'm starting to think now. Like, for those at the start, they might not understand what I mean. That's what I'm starting to be conscious of now, because I'm aware. I looked at, and there's some new viewers. Okay, so bear with me. How can I break this down? Basically, you're going to go off on a whole life and a different trajectory in life because of their decision-making to discard you. Now, they're not sure of their decision-making. That's what you need to know. From one day to the next, they don't know what they want, all right? And this crushes them more. The failed opportunity, the fear of missing out. This crushes them more because it was through their own doing. They've got no one else to blame but themselves. You make the narcissist, when you're discarded, you make the narcissist become their own worst enemy about their own decision-making. Stop thinking they're sure of it. And please, for those of you that have, just to digress a moment, for those of you that are still here and you are the one that cut the narcissist off, reflect on that. You know you done your all by the best of you who you were at that time, okay? And you need to be conscious that you're going to go through a thing where you feel like you could be a better person for them as you go forward in life, right? You need to be aware of that. But don't let dumper's remorse and all of that overtake your heart. That's what I say, the struggles I see with chosen ones and empaths doing the cutting off, okay? And this is what I was going to say earlier. There's a lot of people that are cutting off narcissists or so-called narcissists, and really they're the narcissist. This is what a lot of narcissists are doing. They're painting the other person as the narcissist, and someone recently wanted me to talk on that topic. They're painting, I made a video about it, they're painting the empath as the narcissist, and they're doing all of that, right? So you need to watch out for those as well, okay? Because that's what it is, you know? And what I say to you is, how can I say this? A lot of people that I find, right, and I know from conscious awareness, even at the start of the YouTube, right, that when you do the cutting off with the narcissist, you're going to be left with this guilt if you're an empath and a chosen one. Because an empath and a chosen one doesn't truly believe in discord and stuff like that until they door slam. And then it's game over. And that's what I'm saying. When you do that door slam, maybe this is a better way of putting it for those. When you do that door slam and you finally walk away, you finally go your own way, and you've been discarded, that crushes them. Because you was never meant to do that. They didn't anticipate that you would do that. So that's why I say, all of you that are in the depths of despair, you've been discarded, you've been ghosted, you've been abandoned, they're flaunting new suppliers, they're doing this, they're doing that. You've got some breathing space and some time to yourself that I believe God has favored on your life and the universe has favored on your life to give yourself that time to yourself, to look after yourself, to rebuild. And really, that's what creates the re-idealization, the revaluation, the revaluing, the attraction, the fondness, the absence makes their heart grow fonder, all of that because you've just gone your own way after their rejection. They're not sure of their decisions. Maybe I haven't been clear enough, but they're not as sure of their decision making afterwards. So let them go off in their fantasy land, right? And delve into that. They're going to later realize what you are, you see, when you go your own way. And you might say, how do they know? They know, all right? They find ways. A lot of you are still mutual friends, or you're talking to people and this and that and this and that. Honestly, they find out that you've gone your own way and you're done. They can gauge it from a post you make. They can gauge it from a post you don't make. They're very analytical. They're very, very analytical. So what I want to say to you is, I'm not saying that, like, when you cut a narcissist off and you give them drama and chaos, they ain't going to find you, and you cut a narcissist off, they ain't going to re-idolize you so soon. They're going to be going out with a vengeance to destroy you. Okay? And the hoovers that you may get, the hoovers that you get and all that, it's an agenda. They were coming back. Hopefully you rejected them again, but they were coming back for war because of you standing up for yourself and actually cutting them off. I'm just saying, on the empath's heart and the empath, this is why it might be the deepest video, for the empath's heart and the empath's mind, being discarded is really the better option. Okay? And it comes down to your heart. Okay? Like and this is why it's counterintuitive from what, is that the right word? Like, from what people think. They always think that, oh, the person that rejected the person is in the power position and the rejected is in the weak. No, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. And you start to awaken more and more when you're the one that was rejected. And you don't, what you got to understand is an empath or a chosen one that cuts a narcissist off, that didn't see the full unmasking of the narcissist, or they saw the bad, but there was going to be more. That's the difference that the one who was discarded saw. They saw the full-fledged unmasking. So what I need you to know is there is unfinished business on both sides, whether you were cut, or whether you discarded or you cut the narcissist off. But oftentimes, the hoovers from those that cut the narcissist off, the narcissist is plotting and scheming and coming back with a vengeance. All right? So you need to stay away from them because, and this could have happened, like you could have numerous times walked away from the narcissist and went back or something like that. This makes them volatile as well. This really makes them volatile. So to sum up the video, right, what I need you to understand is there is a re-idolization process. It just happens in different layers. Maybe, I hope you understand, maybe you might need to listen to this video back. It happens in different ways, okay? The re-idolization, the revaluing. All I need you to know is that when you cut a narcissist off, they go with a vengeance. The desperation you see from them, it's all to come back to fucking destroy you, okay? When you cut a narcissist off, it's all to come back and destroy you. They ain't losing that from the forefront of their mind. It's destruction, all right? But when you're discarded and it's through the narcissist's own doing, they actually come to a more sensible perspective. Not sensible because they're not sensible, right? They haven't got common sense. But they come to a more sensible understanding that they fucked up with one of their choices. And that's because they're cursed with the spirit of uncertainty, okay? They're cursed with a spirit of uncertainty in their minds all the time and not being sure of their decision-making. And that's because they don't trust God's will. They're not connected to God. They're demons. They don't, or evil entities or whatever, right? Negative force. They don't trust God's will. They don't trust the universe's decree. They don't trust the process, which is something that really comes into the center point of the one who was discarded's life. And I ask all of you that have cut the narcissist off to understand that even your own decision-making to cut, this is what I mean, your own decision-making to cut that narcissist off has happened for a reason. It's a protection, but from this way, from you didn't see the full unmasking. All right, you got out early. It was down to God's timing, but you still got out early from what the narcissist had on the cards. The one who was discarded, they saw the full or the whole thing. They stayed till the bitter end. All right? So please, those of you that cut the narcissist, don't feel like you missed out on anything, let's that, the other. Just realize that a lot of your rumination and reflection needs to go, right? You made that decision to cut them off. Don't go into a new relationship and start thinking, oh God, the narcissist, because that happens, you know? You go into a new relationship, you think the narcissist is bad, and then the narcissist is, the new one's an even worse narcissist and stuff like that. That's what I hear, right? So there is attraction that grows, realization that grows, revaluing that grows. It's just very different dependent upon your circumstance. Maybe I'll touch on this video again, a bit more deeper, if this is something that interests you. So anyway, thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. If you'd like video requests, check out my membership channel, my membership package. I can touch on topics in a different way on there. So if you're interested in that, you can always check out the membership channel. There's also Zion Music YouTube channel as well. I've released 3 EPs now, quite a few. I released 3 EPs. And check out Zion Spiritual. I'm going to post on there shortly. And I'm going to try and post on there daily as well, coming from a different perspective. So anyway, I'll be back on a video soon. Peace.